We're back. Thank you so much to BetterHelp and Athletic Greens. Go check them out. There will be a link in the description. I'm loving the Athletic Greens, by the way. I know you haven't
Haven't started my regimen yet, but I will.
Okay.
I will.
Come on, name it a number.
1813. Golden Pony Tony Hinchcliffe.
Golden Pony Tony. He had what I would describe as prime fucking seats for the UFC last night.
Yes. He was right there.
Yeah.
He's living his best life.
Yeah, he really is good for Tony. I'm jealous, Tony. I'm going to put that out there, but I only have love. I have no hate for Tony whatsoever.
He started by proclaiming his love for Doug Stanhope and how much he wants him to get there. And Roseanne. I feel like it almost was on the same day. Could have been. Because they did the show the night before. He said Roseanne's going to be on it, but they won't know because it comes up the day before. My bad.
I'm glad you worked that all out.
Yeah, you're bad.
They were talking about working at being a star versus working at being a comedian. And we see that with people like fame is actually what they're trying to do than any discipline.
Mm-hmm. Who are you pointing at, Kamar? You want to throw anyone under the bus?
No. They didn't throw anyone under the bus either. But it's the different scenes of like LA versus New York. There's a lot more stars. Did you see David Spade dropped a special?
No.
It was funny.
Really?
Chris DiStefano's was not great.
No, he's very funny, though.
I think he's fucking hilarious. His special was...
Did he seem kind of nervous almost?
Yeah. Oh, so you watched it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did seem like... I mean, he said he was really drunk.
Oh,
I don't know if that's...
That makes sense, man. Because when you're really drunk, you think you're doing better than you are.
But I mean, was he drunk for... there's no way they just filmed one.
Maybe he did. He got a bag from Netflix, so he's happy.
No, I'm happy for him.
It was a Netflix special?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh, no way. I'm going to watch that for sure. But you're saying it's not good.
But he's not criticizing Brendan Schaub.
Stop. I didn't say it's not good. The only reason I'm talking about it is because I hold him to a very high standard. So I was expecting, when I saw it come up, I was like, oh, fuck, sick. I got to watch this right away. I love Chris DiStefano.
On YouTube, they have, I don't know, it's some channel where it's like the best of comedy or something, and they do all these, funniest moments of Chris DiStefano, and they go through all the different podcasts and pull out the funniest moment. His are hilarious. Like, he's so good on podcasts, though. Like, he's just so quick.
Yeah, and he gets
in conversation.
He gets deep quick. I would say it may be a case of like how you've heard too much of Theo Vaughn. Then we see his stand-up as just, he's just...
I think you're right.
Just being himself sort of thing.
I think you're right.
You're used to, like, you think there's going to be a different thing, but you know him. Literally.
Yeah.
Just the same way I don't feel I'm funny, but I'm like, you see what I'm doing or whatever. Did you see Joe List's special yet?
No, I will check it out, Kamar. I'm sorry.
Goodness. What do we got to do here?
Listen,
he's not my fave, so it's like hard for me to I have so many things I got to watch, and I just never remember to watch that because he's not like a guy who I'm like, oh, fuck, I really wish I had watched this special.
When you watch it, you'll be very happy you did watch this special.
And maybe I'll become a fan, Kamar.
Oh, yeah, I think you will for sure.
All right.
I think you will for sure.
You don't think you're building this up too big?
He's working about...
No, he's built it up so huge. This is bigger than Chappelle.
Yeah.
People have come to me, though, because I touch a lot more comedians.
Yeah.
And ask me if I've seen it. Like,
humble brag.
What? A bunch of losers that half of them don't have cars. Those are the comedians I hang with. But what I'm just saying is a lot of people have seen it, and just good feedback.
I can't... was that an insult towards me?
No.
Or was it a humble brag? I'm confused.
Can't it be both?
I mean, it can be all of the above.
What are we doing here?
No, he feels like I'm talking down to him. That's the problem.
Maybe it's because I'm lower than you. Maybe I'll stand up
when they
to my full height.
When they talked about working at a star, working as a comedian, some guys who are working as a comedian are the best. Is talking about Dave Attell and Bill Burr, and he gave that anecdote about how he was like, "Gee, Mr. Burr, it's amazing how easy you just did that." He's like, "Easy."
He dresses him down on the spot.
There's nothing easy about that. And I've told the story when I met Bill Burr.
Which one?
It was at Paul Verzi's special taping, and I just got him aside. I was like, "Hey, Bill, can I ask you something?" It's crazy how people don't think Trump's awesome. I just want to let you know, I think he's amazing. And he was like, well, you're a fucking idiot, and walked away. Because he suffers not. You know what I mean? He was like, ha, yeah, I know. He's like, what? Why would you say that?
That was your line to Bill Burr.
My chance, my opportunity, I completely blew it.
That sounds about right.
Unbelievable.
That sounds about
He
right.
suffers no fools.
No.
And then
He suffers no fool, I think is what you're looking
he
for.
didn't suffer me.
Yeah. Agree.
And this led into, of course, what happened. Chappelle got bum rushed on stage.
Yeah.
Well, no, he got someone went for a takedown, and then that guy got the literal now dictionary definition of bum rushed. Have you seen the footage?
Dude, Jon Stewart jumped in.
And like kicked the guy in the face while he was on the ground.
But there was like 15
Oh,
people.
it was, dude, Jamie Foxx. I mean, Elon was front row. I'm surprised he didn't jump in with some
Where was it that this happened?
the Hollywood Bowl.
And what was happening?
Netflix is a joke.
Gotcha. So Chappelle was doing like a full set.
He sold out
He did
5 shows.
4 days or 5 days, yeah.
Gotcha.
I love how Joe finally though was like, this place has dog shit security. It's like, hold on, Joe.
It's you guys
Hold
like
on.
you.
I think we know a few hooded people that have run away from that job before.
Oh,
so
yeah, wow. That's hardly the same.
Well, hopefully the beating that guy got.
well, that's what we were saying. Is it would be nice if that was a wake up call. But I mean, it doesn't help comedians like you. You don't roll around with a fucking entourage.
No one's going to rush me. They'd have to be a really big guy, and I'd have to say something really provocative, which I don't think I do, but whatever. Let's go. Let's go. Bring it on. It's a good story. As someone gets that camera out, who knows? Who knows? But apparently they're not charging the guy.
Well, he got the shit kicked out of him. So.
Exactly. I think the
They
powers
should
of,
still charge
the
him.
powers of be said justice was served.
That's not how that works.
Well, no, I think they would have to charge a bunch of people. Like, what is the law on whooping someone's ass who attacks your friend?
I think it's
Hold on.
self-defense
Listen, as
For you who
for
are not being
everybody
attacked.
involved.
Yeah.
as someone who worked
It's
at
got to be that way, right?
I worked at bars for years. I watched bouncers fuck people up on the regular,
Uh-huh.
and the cops show up and are like, "It's just good." They're like, "Oh yeah, well, you fucked them up. That's how it works." Like I don't know.
Yeah, but I wonder what the actual law is.
Listen,
Like
you're
if
not
you
allowed
had to go to court, in
You're saving someone's life,
in
right?
some state that has some, weird fucking thing. I'm sure it's the fault of the
someone's
bar.
being
I bet you the
attacked-
owner goes to
If
jail.
someone's being attacked by someone else, you as a bystander, well, except whose side are you on? That you get to attack the other person.
Well, it's like that Seinfeld, the very last episode there. Remember
the bystander.
the bystander law. They
Yeah.
all just sat around and watched the person get robbed.
John Panette, rest in peace.
Is that who
Exactly,
that
but-
was?
It was John Panette.
Wow.
Yeah.
it's got to be clear who's being attacked.
Yes.
Because whoever you support first just gets that benefit of the being saved by someone
Mm-hmm.
using force.
I don't know, man.
So that guy lunged. Now he's open season.
Do they have that on camera? I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's like terrible
Oh, yeah.
footage though from
Yeah.
far away. But you,
Well-
I mean,
Well, how is it only terrible footage
Because
from
like
far
they,
away?
because
the
like
bags they make you lock
because
your
like they
phone
said,
up.
this somehow Joe insinuated someone had a knife and cut the bag open.
No, but aren't they filming Netflix as a joke?
No, Netflix does specials, and it has a huge comedy festival with like 20 shows.
And
all
And
no-
Simon,
and
hold
nobody
on.
is filming it.
Simon,
No.
even if they were, Netflix was not going to leak that footage right away.
They would have to give it up to the cops. It's
Yeah, and the
not-
cops aren't. Well, okay, I guess.
but
the
they
cops
wouldn't have
might
to
leak
give it up
yeah.
to the media or the internet.
No, that's
or
fair
legal.
enough. Fine. Okay, fine. I'm wondering. That
I'm-
must exist.
I'm
right?
sure there is better footage of it, but we're talking about like you got footage the day of, like 10 minutes after it happened. That footage is rarely very high quality. Like what you're talking about, though, I'm sure exists for sure. You're telling me there wasn't one HD camera rolling on a Dave Chappelle special at a
Even
Netflix
Dave
fucking
recording
This is what I'm
himself
saying.
so he can go over his
dude,
set.
Think about the Kanye
And
West
you're
doc.
upset that he's not sharing his footage with you?
No.
It's just, there's footage.
Release
and
the
it's
footage,
crappy.
Dave.
I'm not
There's footage
upset.
and it's not
I
good
am not
quality.
upset. Okay, there's no upset here.
I know what you're saying. You're like, I would like to see it in high def. I want to see.
I
like-
haven't seen anything, so I don't even know. Did he make it to the stage?
He
he made it to Dave.
And what did Dave do?
Like
Dave
sort of-
like judo tossed him to the side and like
Really?
avoid the stabbing.
And he had a knife.
He had a
gun.
gun knife.
A gun knife?
It's madness.
It was a handgun with a knife that
on the
came out
end?
the end of like the barrel. Yeah.
Why?
He didn't pay to get in. They have metal detectors. He snuck
Like a
in
harpoon
somehow.
gun?
No, it doesn't shoot the blade. You stab.
But why?
Dude, maybe it's more intimidating.
You can't conceal that better than a knife.
Listen, the whole
Maybe
thing
you
kinda
can pull it
stinks.
out quicker because it's like.
Maybe he was crazy.
I mean, all those
Well,
people.
there's no
I
doubt
don't think he'll
about
ever
that.
be the same now.
Joe
Whatever
said he
happened.
was a homeless person who had a Twitter account. I didn't understand that part.
Did you
Do a lot of
see-
homeless people have Twitter accounts?
Phones.
So Simon, you then didn't see. Chris Rock grab after it happened. Dave Chappelle grabbed the mic and was talking to the crowd, and then Chris Rock grabbed the mic and he was like, "Was that Will Smith?"
No, I didn't.
That was fun.
See,
Yeah, you didn't see that. No, it was good.
Any of that stuff.
There we go. There we go.
Anyways, come on, go on.
Bill Burr.
I'll watch this out of the corner of my eye.
Graham Marnier, Dave Chappelle was attacked. Then they talked about disinformation, and Joe said he feels bad for Biden,
Talking to the mic, bro.
and that the anger is unproductive.
Like the first time you've done this.
I think you still hear it.
This guy.
Here, Simon. Oh, that's actually decent footage.
There you
That's
go.
the clearest footage I've seen yet. So
Well, this is TMZ. They paid someone.
that's
for
true.
it.
Someone got the bag for this.
Someone was willing to
Here,
give
right
up
there.
Oh my god. What the fuck? And he wasn't able to stab Dave.
Dude, I love how the fucking it's like the stage is a bowling
Who's
alley.
falling there? Who is that in
I
the
don't
red
know.
velvet jacket?
Jamie
wait a
Foxx.
second.
Jamie Foxx jumps in.
Well, he doesn't even try and stab Dave.
No, he had that on him. It wasn't in his hand.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
He tries to tackle Dave.
He tries to tackle Dave.
Yeah. Wow, that is insane, man.
Yeah.
If he,
No, but look,
Look, they're all stomping him out in the background as the lights dim.
I didn't see that.
You didn't hear?
No.
I'll you can
no,
see
I
it.
think you watch Dave walk over there and start stomping himself.
Watch right here, Simon. You can see that group
Oh
of
yeah.
people
Oh
right
my god.
there.
They are just stomping him
Yeah.
out.
But
eh?
I think you see him walk in to stomp him out himself.
Really?
Yes.
Dave runs in for a kick or two. Yep.
Oh
Boom.
my god.
And then he comes back and said, "Hey, I just stomped that guy out."
The craziest is there was people on the internet that were like, "So I guess Dave Chappelle fans are pro violence now," and I was like, "Shut the fuck up."
We said this last night, and then I said those are the same people who think it's okay that
Yeah, that Will Smith
slapped
yeah.
Chris Rock. There's somehow an argument there, like which Joe never talked about, by the way, but nobody called Tiffany Haddish on that shit. Not that I saw. No,
Yeah, no,
well-
but she's not a comedian anymore. Now she's in Hollywood.
I don't care. Like, anyways, okay, whatever, sure. I mean, that was crazy.
Do you think-
what she said was weird?
Do you
man.
think Will Smith is ruined?
I would hope so. I don't know. People probably have forgotten already.
He won an Oscar at the end of the night and got a standing ovation. I would say he's fine.
No, I mean,
they kept Harvey Weinstein around for
You
like
would-
2
hey,
decades.
hey, Matt, you would like to think the market would work itself out.
Exactly.
That's not a market where.
Oh, no,
first of all, hold on.
there's
Nobody
a
hear me
market
out.
that's for him.
Hear me out. It's a recession-proof market, so it never works itself out. Right? Like Hollywood and the mob are traditionally recession-proof. So.
Anyways, it was a joke, but my point is they'll mental gymnastics that shit,
Oh, I feel you.
and you don't even believe it happened. So
I just don't think it went down the way people are saying.
No, he knows it. He said it happened. He watched
now
it
he's
happen.
agreeing. No, he thought it was staged.
Yeah, that's different. That means it happened.
Like wrestling is real.
but it's not.
But he said he felt bad for Biden. Psaki, they talked about the ginger. She's stepping down.
You know, it's a weird. Can I mention this though? It's a weird disconnect where Joe didn't even mention that Biden press dinner. Like he was very lucid in that.
Oh my God, it was like he was a whole new
We all
person.
watched that
But
together.
what is going on?
What is going on?
Well, but hold on.
That
It doesn't
makes me
matter
more
what's going on.
concerned.
Forget that. The point is, we all watched. Like that was a very popular thing. It was going around. Joe had to have seen it. Doesn't mention it at all. Like it seems kind of weird, right? For a guy that's been saying this guy has no faculties.
I've never seen him that lucid.
Well, not in years.
And not since he's become president.
Yeah.
And he was like making jokes. Things sounded coherent.
But
Did you ever see the movie Dave?
He sounded like any other president.
But he might have been reading something.
Yes, that was a doppelganger.
Yeah.
If there's teleprompters there, he's just reading.
It doesn't matter. Usually it doesn't
he
matter.
can't even
You're
read.
yes,
He's
you're.
reading jokes that went for him.
It doesn't matter. He's reading them eloquently
He commanded
with timing.
the
yes.
room.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Like
I
a
was there.
president.
I agreed. I
No,
concur.
you refused to give him even an inch.
No, I was like, he's killing
An
it.
inch.
Well, you were there. What he's saying is not true.
Yes,
I'm
that's
saying
he's
right
saying right now,
now,
though, you seem to be pushing back. At
No,
the time, you
but
were. Yeah.
At the time,
That
he's
was when we weren't
he's
on
not.
air, and now that you have to, your barbarians behind you.
I mean,
We just watched it.
In his defense,
last
like,
week, right?
In his defense, he is a very old man. I'm sure
He
has.
comes in and out.
Yeah, he has better days than other. Maybe he's meted up, right? Like maybe he has, he's taken the right meds that day in preparation for this thing. I don't know.
Well, then my question is, he's the president.
Yeah, give those
Isn't
meds
every
all the
time
time,
he's
yeah.
on camera be of equal importance?
Listen, Hitler was smoking meth, running a country. Can't we fucking shove something up Joe Biden's ass to get his fucking juices
If
flowing?
what Joe says is true, that Biden is deteriorating in front of us. I said last week, I'm starting to just feel sorry for him. Feels like an old man is being bullied to do stuff. Like when you see him at the Obama thing, that was weird. Whatever. A year from now, he'll be not able to do anything, or you just go in and out, and he'll ride out his term.
Listen, my point wasn't whether he's doing a good job or how long he's going to be there. My point was simply Joe is someone who rides him for not having his faculties. There was a very large gathering where Joe Biden was clearly like all there, and Joe has kind of.
Maybe Joe didn't see it. Like I don't even know why I saw it. Because you
Well,
showed
you're right.
it to me.
You know what? You're right. No, Kamar showed it to me. I never. You're right.
Would
I never would have
watch
seen
that.
it. Yeah.
Like what was that? The State of Address?
No, the press.
Like,
Correspondent.
dude,
That's
I like he would have watched it, but I never would have watched.
It's
it.
Keep in mind, though.
it's on CPAC.
Hold on, but let's keep in mind that's where Obama famously said that thing to Trump that got him to run.
Sure, I wouldn't have watched that either.
My point is, you saw that clip eventually, right?
Norm
So-
McDonald's did a correspondence dinner. Like he always was a really hot comedian at the time.
Yeah, they got
with
Colbert.
Manners.
Jon Stewart did it, I think.
And now they have Trevor Noah and
Well, it's the same vein, though,
Teach
right?
Your Own.
You see that I thought that this was like the first time they had a comedian there.
No,
I didn't realize
every dinner.
because I found it weird that Trevor Noah was there. I thought, oh, what a liberal,
Yeah, because the Democrats
heel-
in power and if
heel
the
liquor.
Republicans in power, they
But
do that.
no, they always have a comedian there. That seems pretty
Yeah.
normal now.
Chris
the whole
Rock-
thing seems
Chris
normal.
Rock might have done it, maybe.
Well, hold on. When Bush was in, they got Colbert to do it, and he fucking
Lit him up.
lit him up.
Well, yeah, and he was celebrated. It was being the rebel comedian.
Now he's like, take the vaccine. Look at the vaccine.
It's weird.
It's like
things,
Michigan J.
weird
Frog.
things. But Biden's press secretary, they're talking about the ginger. She's stepping down, and a hot black chick's taking over.
Lesbian.
So that's gonna be crazy.
But they found out that her roommate is a CNN correspondent, so now there's a few
Well,
issues.
she's going to work for MSNBC right now to be a commentator. But like, I think this press secretary is going to have some sass because they're always so defensive with the questions and stuff, and they'll be like, "Oh, they're attacking a black woman, obviously." But it'll be very interesting to see. Usually, a president has 2 or 3 press secretaries because it is, like they said, the worst job.
Oh, dude, imagine how mentally taxing that would be.
And just turning phrases, and we'll circle back to that.
Think about a normal shitty job that you would dread going to, and then like multiply it by like 10 or 15. Like, oh, great, I get to wake up super early
Every
to get
day,
fucking
lie
reamed
to
by
the world.
these. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not even telling my own life.
It's
It's
not
one
like-
thing when you're defending your own self.
it's de facto.
It's another thing when you're like, oh my God, I have to defend this guy's fucking lies. Like,
Do you guys
Jesus.
watch Veep? It's
I
one
watched
of,
like the first
the
4.
gems.
Oh, it's so
of
good. Yeah.
our lifetime. but
Who plays that role?
Who, Julia
press
Louis
secretary?
Who plays the press secretary in Veep?
for
She has one too.
for Veep when she's president?
Yeah.
The young dude, isn't it?
No, it's the blonde girl.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
From My Girl.
My Girl, yeah.
They're spin doctors. They're the first line of spin doctors.
The whole thing are spin doctors. The whole.
But you have
it's
to do
amazing.
it on camera. And it's
Yeah,
going
you
the
have to be
news.
the face,
Your
yeah.
statements are the words of the White House.
You're going to be taking the hit at some point.
It's, what a job. What a job.
Dude, remember how big the spin doctors were in the 90s?
The band, the Spin Doctors.
If you
I know
want
this,
to call me baby.
but that was their only hit.
No, they had like 4
No,
hits on that
that
album.
was it.
There's
Little
no
Miss
fucking
Can't
way.
Be Wrong.
Yeah, Little Miss, Little Miss, Little Miss can't be wrong.
That wasn't a hit
Two
like
Princes,
that one was.
and that's
Oh,
it.
Two Princes might have been.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
But
they
that
had
wasn't
some-
from the same album, was it?
It doesn't matter. They had hits, bro. They had
You don't
hits.
even like
Whoa.
music. You don't even
Whoa.
like music.
Okay, you know what? I got painted with the wrong brush the other day. I like music just fine.
No, but you don't enjoy it anymore in your older age. Like if music is on, this is the weird thing about you. When music comes on,
I love
I
it.
see you move
Yeah,
like
no,
I've never
I-
seen
I
you move.
like music.
Even music that I'm like, I didn't even think Simon would like this.
I just pick my times to listen to music.
Okay, fair enough.
I forgot to mention that Doug openly does not like music.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing.
Well, that's
to me.
what reminded me. I thought these guys are going to compare me to Doug, and
No.
I like music just fine. And not only that, I know quite a bit about music, just not any music after like
I remember
2010.
I remember I used to look to you for music.
I played like a Freddie Gibbs thing for you, and I remember you like were like jaw on the floor, and I was like, oh wow, you were like, that was insane. I was blown away that you even gave a shit.
That was the best part about being like 16.
Was new shit.
There's new stuff coming out, very limited. Someone would have to be the first to get the CD.
I was the best at mixing.
getting high, sitting around a radio and going, "Oh my god, that's sick!"
Dude, this is a weird memory, but I remember my buddy Smitty got the MOP album that had Cold as Ice on it. He got that album for some reason like a year and a half before the album actually came out. And I went to his house one day. He was like, bro, I have the new MOP album. Huge MOP fan. So I was like, get the fuck out of here, you do. He also was like, I have this bag of weed that is on another level. I've never gotten higher, and I've never enjoyed music more than that single day right there. The first time I heard Annie Up and Cold as Ice, just fucking...
And you felt for a while it was like your song. You had producer credits because you
Oh.
heard it. No one else had heard it.
Yeah, for sure. I remember going. That was the best though. Is like, see now kids don't have that because it's like, did you hear? Yeah, of course I heard it. It dropped at midnight. It went to all of our phones. But like, I remember going to school the next day and getting 10 hip hop heads and being like, come here, and like putting the headphones on and then being
Well,
like,
like how 50 Cent's tapes went around, I imagine it
Yeah.
must have been like getting a cool pair of sneakers.
well, that was it too. When I remember when I went to New York, I like loaded up on mixtapes and mix CDs from Canal Street.
Like when I bought Dunks,
yeah,
going to New York was the fucking best, right? It's like
course,
Mecca. You
yeah.
would come back with stuff you knew you would never see on anybody else's feet. And I imagine that's how those tapes were like. I didn't listen to them, so I have no, but you know,
but I mean at the same time though, those 50 Cent tapes were
you
like
want to share them.
those were around the internet time.
Were they? Why was he still making tapes then?
Because that was the New York thing. Like the mixtape was always the New York.
So you're saying in LA that shit was online already?
No, there was LA mixtapes too, but I mean, just in general, like keep in mind, what was Napster out in like 97?
Well, whatever.
I
It
don't
doesn't
know.
have to be 50 Cent, but like all of those rap groups coming up, they all had to make tapes.
Yeah, everyone had a mixtape back then for sure. That was like the big thing, especially the South, that chopped and screwed shit.
Well,
But
Dude,
the
apparently
I'm thinking
the,
like
the way it got
Outkast,
around
you know?
was so much.
Yeah, more organic.
You know, I had to be physically
Dude, they had street teams.
distributed. Now it all is there at all times.
It's funny how like we use the word organic, you know, it's passed from person to person, and then at some point it just became all. What's the opposite of organic?
Inorganic.
Yeah, right through computer to computer
Well, it's
to
the crazy
computer.
technology.
But
to
yes and no
person.
though, because it's still someone sharing it.
Yeah, but then there's like I
No,
don't
but hear me
know,
out. It's
Something
like-
happens when it goes through the. Does it change? Is it like the experiment, Kamar? You know,
Well, that's why I was just thinking. If you don't play it, it's nothing.
it's just a tree in the woods.
But it exists the second you summon it, and it gives you a feeling like if you enjoy it, or it gives you a feeling if you don't like it.
Yeah, but remember that feeling of like, and I know you both lived through this. You always had a blank tape in the right deck.
Yes, a blank tape in the right deck, and like they talked about the VHS tape, you could take your sister's Raffi tape and put tape over
Yeah.
it and turn it into a mixtape, but then you didn't.
A blank tape.
But it was super cover because, like, is this it? No. Someone thinks it's Sharon Lois and Bram, but it's the Beastie Boys or something. All sorts of ways to subvert the technologies of the time.
I know that one just sounds like gross for some reason.
But like even then, I remember in '99, I remember living with my dad in Orleans, and I had my TV hooked up to like I had like a, what are they called, a receiver. right? And then I had a tape deck there, so I would record off like Rap City, and that's how I got all my music. And it was all the funniest is it was edited.
I would take, the like dictation tape recorders used to have. It was a triangle.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
4 buttons. I would take one
Not
of
a
those
triangle; it was a rectangle.
to the TV.
Oh my god, that's so ghetto.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Well, then eventually I got what you were talking about, the double cassette. I was sort of looking at you like, fucking rich
But
kid
the double
over here.
cassette, like literally, you would just like I would listen to the radio and like
The radio.
If your song came on, you hit that fucking button and just that was that.
And it was the best. And then you had those songs to summon whenever you wanted.
Yeah.
And now we can summon.
Oh my God. Are you talking about like a spell? Is that why you keep saying
Of course,
summon?
music is a spell.
I mean, music is the most popular thing in the world. Kamar, one of the craziest turning points in my life is one night I was listening to I was in like a big punk phase when I was like 12 or 13, like No Effect, not like, you know what I mean, that kind of cheesy punk.
Sum 41?
No, Sum 41 was around then. Like No Effects and No Use
Yes,
for a
sir,
Name,
before.
that sort of stuff. 10-foot pole. Yes. Simon's in the right.
Early Offspring?
Yeah, early Offspring. Yeah. But like a lot of like Punk and Drublick was like the shit. You know what I mean? That.
Rancid.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Point being though, I was really bored with that music.
Rancid's better than all those bands.
But
there you
Operation
go.
Ivy is
Sorry, go
better
ahead.
than Rancid.
Oh, I like Rancid a lot.
Either way, one night I was so bored listening to that shit, and I just started. This is how old I am. I started just going through the radio dial, like 1.1 at a time, and I insanely enough, it was on a Monday. I came across the show on CKCU called All for One, and it was playing hip hop, and it was 2 hours long.
Carleton's university radio
Yeah, Carleton
station.
University. Dude, I recorded from that point on every Monday. I recorded every show in its entirety, and that was the next like 15 years of my life.
I used
Only
to-
hip hop, all hip hop.
And every university in every town all over the world, or North
Yeah.
America, I imagine, had that radio station playing music for
That's
the
how
people,
that's
you know?
how new independent music got out on
So
college
cool.
radio to
And
college
it's
students.
been ruined.
Then it got big.
It's been
wait,
ruined.
now it's SoundCloud.
It's ruined.
I would always tape Trevor Walker's sets.
Yeah. I mean, Simon's right, though.
Shout out Trevor Walker.
It's not that it's been ruined. I don't know that ruined. It's changed. Listen, you always, anything nostalgic, you always look back on. But, like, I don't know. Now that we're older, music is different for us.
You said it yourself, Matt. It used to be special when you found something before someone else.
I
You
said
know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I
you'll
agree
never
with you.
have that again.
Probably not, no.
Yes. I have something in here right now that you guys have never heard that I could have
Oh, the two of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's still share.
It's something,
summon
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
again,
casting
though,
a spell in the room.
last week I talked about the drum and
You
bass.
just summoned on us? All over us?
all over my face, just summoned on
I'll
my
summon
face.
anywhere I want, Matt.
Little pre-summon.
I mean,
summon
Simon, last
here.
week I spoke about the drum and bass on a bike guy. Like, that's something that I just discovered. You know what I mean? It's been around for a while. That's kind of the beauty of the
Still
internet.
exists. It still exists.
Yeah.
That the joy and like surprise, like wow, this is really good.
Okay,
Even
it's
music.
being ruined
It's
as
just
we
changing.
speak.
It's just changing.
Yeah,
I mean-
changing, sure.
Listen, you can say it's being ruined at the same time. Like, when I was growing up, if you wanted to listen to a bunch of Motown, you had to hope that your parents or someone close to you had a Motown collection. There was no way of like, now kids can just be like, what's Motown? I'm going to go, oh, this music is the best. I mean, there's something to that.
Yeah, no, definitely. You're right. There are pros and cons.
Yeah.
But hear this story.
It just used to be more special, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it felt that way.
I was down at
Well, it was harder to get. It was harder to make. It was,
But hear me out, though, Simon.
more scarce.
I'm sorry,
Go
Corey. Give me
ahead.
one
Oh,
sec.
okay,
Just give me 1 sec. Simon, there's also things that we aren't like privy to, like, you know, Discord or even Spotify has a thing where you can make a playlist and then like multiple people can listen to it. So like we could be listening to the same music. We're not using that. I'm old. I'm not going to listen to a fucking playlist with you. But, you know, if you're a kid, that's kind of cool. And it's a way to
share music.
Yeah,
It's fun.
I don't know.
see it. You're making like a mixtape. I get
it's
it.
kind of the same thing. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was at the marketplace at the end of my street
You talking to that goddamn
doing some
mic?
grocery shopping, and I was wearing the Glebe
Yeah, the GLB shirt. yeah.
GLB shirt, and she was super hot. Cashier goes, "You went to Glebe?" I go, a long time ago. And she was like, I go to Glebe. Like searching in me to like start talking about Glebe High School. I was like, nah, I'm so old. I went to school with Alanis. And she said, who? I said, Alanis Morissette. And she's like, who's that?
Yeah.
And then I started going, and I'm here to remind you. And she's looking at me like you're crazy.
Yeah.
And the other cashier goes, she doesn't know. She's way young.
Yeah.
And
That girl must have been like 15 years old.
No, well, maybe she was saying,
Grade
I'm
9.
going to Glebe right now. Like I never see in the hallways or whatever. But
You know what's
Oh,
interesting?
I think that's what she meant.
I'm just saying the music. No, people don't do that.
Claire's like, give me my number back.
You go to high school? I go to high school.
I've been to high school.
I went for a few days. What else you got there, Kamar?
They talked about Chinese movies dictating the stuff. This is another problem just overall with Joe is talking about cancel culture. Like there's certain topics I so yearn for something ancient, some exploring a jungle, like something there's no roots in any of these constant topics that they just have
The
to go over
fallback
and
is-
reiterate.
Yeah, the fallback now is either COVID or, like you just said, come on.
It could be a number of things, but they talked about
Thank you.
Joe loves Mel Gibson.
Yeah, that was. I'm glad you waited. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I nearly died there. I'm glad you waited till he grabbed the Red Bull to say that.
He's like, yeah, I know he was, super anti-Semitic in the past. Like, I don't remember getting any apologies. I don't remember, like, Mel Gibson ever atoning for anything.
No.
Listen, he makes great movies. There is no fucking doubt about that. It doesn't mean you have to. Harvey Weinstein made great movies. You are not putting him up on a pedestal.
But you can separate the man from the art.
Well, I would be angry if there were statues of him around, like Werner von Braun.
Yeah. But you'd be less angry at if they replaced Werner von Braun statue and put up a Mel Gibson one, you'd be happier.
I mean, a small, again, two evils. Like, why don't we just put nobody? Why do we have to replace the one anti-Semite with the other?
I agree. But at least isn't it progress making it one?
You know what? It's definitely progress. If they want to, I'd be for that.
That's what I'm saying.
I
At the
mean,
very
I don't
least-
get it, but I'd be for it.
Like, if they
I
said
don't
to you-
understand why it has to work this way.
Like if NASA came to you, Simon, and said, listen, we're either going to keep the Von Braun statue or replace it with Mel Gibson or nothing. You'd say...
So NASA comes to me and says, look, Simon, we hate Jews.
Yeah, we've made that abundantly clear.
We're willing to make a small concession on the degree of Jew hater that we're willing to have as a stone statue in front of our
We're
building.
trying to be progressive in our Jew hate.
Again, I don't understand why I only have the two choices, but I would pick Mel Gibson.
Has a Jew ever been to space? Has anyone ever been to space?
sure.
I'm sure.
No.
Joe sort of seemed like
No,
he's like,
and I think a Jew has allegedly been to space.
Okay.
If you pass me my phone, I'll look it up.
Joe seems to think that like he's happy that
Google feud, has a Jew been to space?
Jews in space.
Sorry.
Mel Gibson landed on his feet. Like it's gonna be all right.
Yeah, he's
See
doing
some lean
just fine.
years sometime.
I actually know a girl that, like a girl I grew up with, used to be a good friend of mine. She lives in Costa Rica right now.
Beautiful.
And she posted a video. She's like, I'm partying at Mel Gibson's house right now with Mel
I
Gibson.
think he might own an island even.
I think he owns a big chunk of
Something,
Yeah, he's got a lot of money.
peninsula, yeah.
A peninsula.
A pedo peninsula? Is that what you're talking about?
I did not infer
Is
that.
Mel Gibson a pedo? I thought he was just an anti-Semite. You can't throw him in all these.
I didn't say it. Kamar said it. I just heard what I heard.
They then talked about Christmas movies that aren't always known Christmas movies, and they mentioned Edward Scissorhands and Johnny Depp's in the news. And you've seen Edward Scissorhands?
How could you have not?
Exactly.
It's the JREE movie game. The time has come again. For Matt and Simon to rack their brains to guess the budget in the box office. We all know they won't guess the year, and the Patreons are the real winners here at the JREE movie game. Come on, take it away, baby.
It's the movie game where Matt and Simon go head to head to find out what year a movie came out, how much it cost to make, and how much it came at the box office. This week we're doing Edward Scissorhands.
Just before Kamar goes any further, just while we're on the movie game, there is a movie called Jews in Space. It's by Mel Brooks, so I had to refine my search. But at least nine have gone to space.
Jews?
9
Interesting.
Jews, yeah. I won't bore you with the list. It's
Or
a
they
lot
went
of
to-
Steens and Steins and maybe a Chekhov in there.
They went to a studio that they thought was
Sure. I mean, they do run Hollywood, so that kind of all comes full circle, right? Did you know that the Beatles, this is crazy, the Beatles tried to get Kubrick to direct them in a version of Lord of the Rings?
What?
Yeah, that was their plan. And the Tolkien wouldn't do it because he hated the Beatles because he used to live 4 doors down from them and thought their music was crass or they played too loud or something.
That's fucking
But imagine
hilarious.
that had been they would have made a musical of it. Anyway, sorry, go on, Kamar.
Well, they had all the
Movie
money in the world.
game.
Edward Scissorhands.
Did you play the song already?
I did, yeah.
Nice.
I already have all my shit written down. Too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Directed by Tim Burton, this sort of art house piece.
Yeah.
A boy with no hands, and but he can sculpt and do things with his hands.
Starring I Married a Crazy Chick
Was-
and I Like to Steal from Shops.
There was a question I had a clue, but she was one of my generation's super hot chicks.
Winona
So
Ryder.
I need
Yeah.
a year, eh? First.
I never
It's
found her
not
that
tight.
hot.
No, but there's all sort of. Do you
Oh,
know-
she was the quintessential '90s chick. Yeah, like
was
kind
so
of
hot.
pasty,
She was
short
so
hair. Yeah,
Oh my god.
I liked Sandra Bullock when I was young. Speed. I watched Speed a lot.
No, I've never liked Sandra Bullock.
That's
but
fine. To each their own.
I love her work.
Okay.
But she's never been my type.
Okay, I'm ready with a year,
Courtney
at
Cox,
least.
my type.
Oh yeah, she was hot. Jennifer Aniston too was
Not my
definitely-
type.
Okay, fair enough. To each their own. I have 92, Simon.
Okay. Sorry, I have 91.
1990. Oh, so classy. It's so far away.
Jesus.
Cunt.
Starring Johnny Depp, Winona Ryder, Diane West, Anthony Michael Hall, Kathy Baker, Vincent Price, and Alan Arkin. I wonder what the percentage of people like. There was a time we think everyone knows that movie, and now
Okay.
people are like, "What are they talking?"
I'm ready.
All right, I was further away. I'll go first. I had 30 million to make, and it made 206.3.
Well, we were very close on the budget. I said it cost $29 million to make.
Wow.
And it made $342.
You eke it out there, but this movie didn't sell as much as you thought.
Oh,
It cost
no.
$20 million to make,
Yeah, wah, wah.
and has a box office of $80 million.
80 million. Wow.
Way off.
That's a success, though.
Way
No, I
off.
think it became like a cult
classic.
classic, yeah, in
What
the
do you mean?
later years. Made all its money at
making $80 million
Blockbuster.
for a $20 million movie is
I thought it was
Success.
like a runaway hit
Yes,
right
yes,
away,
yes.
and obviously it was not.
no. I think it was more of an art house picture.
Played at select theaters, possibly.
No,
Yes.
it's probably just panned by critics. I mean, I think we're reminiscing.
There's
on it.
no
like,
way it could have been panned by critics. It's a tremendous movie on all fronts. Acting, directing, Tim Burton, like the whole thing, man.
Yeah, but sometimes really good movies, like Goodfellas, doesn't have the box office you think it has at all.
I thought this one would have been a family affair that would have been like...
Why? What
anyways.
did Goodfellas make? Go look at that now.
I think it probably
Yes,
only
sir.
made like 155 million.
What do you mean only? That's a fucking huge amount of money.
Not even cost $100 million to make. A lot of actors.
It didn't cost 100 million. No,
I bet you it
fucking
cost
way.
like 20 million.
Yeah, Scorsese's probably really good at.
People work for him for
well, that
free,
too. Yeah,
man.
I would say 25 million realistically.
Well, tell us.
Yeah, just tell you. Or
No, okay, hold
Well,
on.
we did it.
Well,
I
no,
said
and then
20 million.
And then you said it made 155.
Yeah.
which is still a great. I'm gonna say it made at least 100, at least 100
Yeah,
million.
get down, stay down.
Okay, go ahead.
What year did it come out?
I know what year it came out. It came out in
91.
no. Dances 92.
1990. Same year as Edward Scissorhands.
Son of a
Fuck
bitch.
me. We both picked the
Same
same
thing,
years.
yeah.
Budget $25 million.
Wow, we knocked that one right out of the park.
Box office $47.1 million.
It did not do well.
Wow.
That's what I said.
Cult classic.
That's what I said. In 1990.
Well, I wonder what the Godfather
the
makes.
internet-
You know what? Let's move on. We'll be
Yeah.
here forever. This is how the movie game fucking spirals out of control.
or just has a bonus.
Wait, your argument was that The Godfather didn't have good returns either. correct?
Probably not. It's pretty old.
We're not
first
going
of
to
all.
guess, but pull it up.
It's pretty
I have to
old,
know.
first of all, Matt.
Yeah.
And I think that, no. I bet if I took my wife to see The Godfather, she would have thought it was terrible back in the day. You know what I mean? I just don't think it had the appeal you probably think. Like Goodfellas, you don't get the women.
Well, no, but I want to know because like it's there's a very famous book. Which one is it? It's The Whale. Oh, here we go.
Goodfellas, I called it. Goodfellas.
All bets are off.
Okay.
Godfather came out in
1974.
I was going to say 78.
1972.
Oh, we've way before. Jesus.
Budget $7.2 million.
They all worked for free.
Box office $250 million.
Sweet mother of God! No, you. Yeah.
That was a runaway
Wow.
hit.
It was the only hit.
What a return, eh?
Yes.
Well, that makes
Jesus.
what's even crazier though is that they made
Jesus.
2 and it's just as good a film.
I think 2's better,
better.
personally.
It's better.
It might be. I'm just saying. At least like you know,
Godfather.
It might be the only one where the second is better than the first.
they just should never
Didn't
have
we
made the
just
third.
do this
Yeah,
the
we
other
did it
day?
last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best sequels ever. But the
The
thing was
three though
Fugazi.
might make the Godfather $1 billion franchise.
Huh?
The 3 movies, even though the
I wonder
Godfather 3
how
is
the
dog
third
shit.
did. I wonder if
Dog
it
shit.
was just as
dog shit.
popular but terrible.
no, but we know it was
sold
dog
enough that-
shit. He's saying,
But
what
just
did they-
running off the
Yeah.
second, you know.
Yeah.
Well, because the second, yeah, I mean,
You're going to get a lot of chumps spending money before they even know they've been chumped.
But they got
dude,
the
and they
last
got
of their
they
money
got
'cause
De
there's
Niro
no
for the
fourth.
second one too. Like, fuck out of here.
They got Pacino for the second one.
Pacino was in the first one. Al Pacino is the son. He's in the first
Oh, yeah,
one. He's
right.
like the main fucking character. But De Niro was not because
Well,
he
no,
plays young
what's his
Vito.
name is the main character, isn't he?
Who? Marlon Brando? No,
yeah.
he dies like halfway through the movie. He
He's
can't
the
be the
dad.
main character. Yeah, but he's not the main character.
Gets snuffed out with the fucking gun with the...
Yeah.
I had that as
No,
a
you have to-
sweatshirt when I was a kid. It was a skate company.
Yeah.
It was just that scene from the movie. He's coming around the corner or whatever with the...
Pacino has to be the main character because the story arc like follows
Yeah, no,
him.
you're right. I haven't seen it in forever. I think I've watched 2 a bunch of times since.
'Cause
but
remember
I can't remember even watching The Godfather.
Because Pacino's whole story is he comes back from war and he's
Right.
not even like in the family. Like they don't even want him to be part of
Right,
it. But
and
when
the
they kill
second
the
one
dad,
is he's the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, and it's the Vito Corleone.
Starts
It's-
at the wedding, right? That's number 2?
no, 2 starts in the old country, doesn't it?
Oh, it starts in the old country and then switches to the
Yeah.
wedding.
Yeah.
And that's the movie game. Right on. We're back to the Tony Hinchcliffe. Joe like really struck out today with the clips, on this episode. He plays a Glengarry Ross.
Yeah, no
And
good.
And it doesn't work unless you have the what's going on here, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
The context of it,
Yeah.
and it's a great clip. It's like, whoa, take that off. And then right away again, he put on Teddy Bergeron. And I was like, whoa.
Just bombing.
But he really, get that down. That was funny. Everyone says Jackass. Have you seen the new Jackass?
Yep.
Oh yeah, Simon and I watched it together.
Oh, really? How? On what platform?
I have
With
a,
our eyes.
I have
you go to theater?
I have a platform potentially that shows movies. I don't know.
It's on. It's on a streaming
I'll
service
give you
now?
a
Well,
link.
you can
I'll
buy
give you
it
a
on the
link.
Cineplex app if you have that.
Okay.
I told you I outside the 2 times in the last 5 years where I've seen Simon laugh the absolute hardest I've ever seen him laugh was Jackass and Family Feud clips.
Family Feud.
The
kills
new
it.
Jackass. The new Jackass was everything.
It was funny, yeah. But you,
It's not the best one.
You wanna,
No
you
way.
wanna laugh. You know what I mean? Like it's the movie. The movie makes you want to like laugh and join in.
You know what I also think Jackass does? We're getting older and it makes you not feel so old because they're still doing it.
No, that made me feel especially old.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Especially.
Okay. It made me feel less just because, again, like, you know, they're still doing it and I don't know.
No, looking at Johnny Knoxville and then finding out that he has a fucking
Oh,
catheter
I can't
all
do
the
that
time.
talk. I can't
like
do that
how,
talk.
You can't have sex if you have a
I
catheter.
think you can.
You just shove both things
Larry
up
Flint
there?
had sex. He was in a wheelchair.
Let's not do this.
Okay. Yeah, let's not do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's clean it up. Let's talk about. They talked about Walt Disney.
Disney.
Speaking of
What?
anti-Semites.
Yeah, speaking of fucking casting spells.
They removed every cigarette
Yeah.
out of his hand in every photo. 'cause
Really?
He always smoked.
No
And
way.
every swastika badge. he had.
Clearly. And
Those
he,
were tattoos. They were a little harder to get off.
and he died at 65.
Yeah, well.
It's not like he was around for a long time.
But his head's frozen.
Well, he had a huge
Apparently, yeah.
impact on the world.
Negative or positive.
Well, it allowed the government
Depends,
to
are you a Democrat or a
influence
Republican?
its own people without them knowing it.
Did you listen to
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to say it. I did.
We'll talk about it. But like even then, if Walt Disney has to do a thing, because they're talking about how like you'd have to draw everything so many times for it to
Yeah.
get through.
The cell
Like,
animation.
How would he communicate what he wanted to do through such a big organization?
What are you saying?
He would stand on a balcony with
Is
his
it
hand
possible
up,
people
and
didn't
he
even
would.
know what they're doing? Like, do you know that the responsibility for swaying whatever?
Yeah,
it's
it's
diffused or just Walt's.
Your job could have just been to draw boots,
Yeah.
to draw mountains,
Yeah.
to like, who knows? You had nothing to do with plots or fucking
It'd be that easy.
dialogue or what was, Yeah, it would be that easy, man. You would be so stoked that you were drawing for a living,
Yeah. Wow. I guess so. I heard someone who did that said it's the worst.
No, that's in like modern time.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine like you're a kid out of college in the 60s or the 70s or whatever, and you get a job at Disney. I think you're going to be pretty fucking stoked until you find out it's like a total cult and they're.
Or until you come up with a fucking smash idea and you find out, oh, Disney now owns this.
Yeah,
that's
well,
too
a
bad.
lot of things happen like that. But listen, he was working with Werner von Braun really closely. They were making movies about going to space, going to Mars before we went to space. They were doing that because he was working for the government, and that was a perfect way to get people used to this idea that we were going to be, presumably.
But for the good of the cabal or the good of humankind?
Well, it depends what you believe, Kumar. Yeah, go crazy. Do you think that the government is doing things in our best interest, or do you think the government is doing things to control the narrative of the
I
world?
think they're trying to do, they're supposed to do stuff for best
Well,
interest.
if they're doing it in our best interest, then I guess Disney was a good guy who just happened to be best friends with a Nazi. At the worst, you know what I mean?
Strange bedfellows.
And at the best, he was, a pawn, or even worse, if he has his own agenda and was just using the government as money, I don't know. What do I know?
Joe let out the weakness. He can't run right now.
Did he say that?
He's got a bad
Oh,
knee.
now's our chance, guys.
He's put that out there.
So basically, there are comedians getting attacked on stage, and Joe can't.
And Joe's
run.
at his most vulnerable. This is crazy.
Oh my god! Well,
Yeah, I don't. It's supposed to be like in the NHL it'd be a lower body injury.
Yeah.
of some sort. But yeah, he's a sitting duck. Then
He's a sitting duck.
they're talking about golf and John Daly and Joe's like, how can you call athlete like parties like an athlete?
Hold on. John Daly's a fucking athlete.
And then Tony goes, well, John Jones.
Yeah, dude, that was hilarious.
And then he's just talking about a go-go plata, like to switch to deflect the whole thing. I thought that was really funny.
a go-go plata? What's a go-go plata?
It's a submission.
Oh,
He just changed the subject all of a
is
sudden.
that what it's called? Go-go plata?
There's an omoplata.
Omoplata.
There's a go-go plata.
Oh, I
There's
didn't know
another
there was a-
plata.
Okay.
Because he was saying Nate Diaz was high when he did it. And I think they should let them smoke weed in the NFL too. I don't think it'd be as violent. I mean, except for the guys who
I don't know why they care.
It's
It's not going to make you faster.
Them.
The NFL is infinitely concerned about their image. Infinitely.
Well, maybe if it becomes legal federally one day in the United States, they'll be more likely to allow it.
Joe was saying that it's way easier to kick someone than to.
Well, just ask Michael Chandler.
It's way easier to kick someone.
Hi-oh.
It's way easier to kick someone than to hit a golf ball. But it's way easier to hit someone with a golf club than to kick them.
I thought Joe was saying it's harder to kick someone than hit a golf ball.
That's what he was saying. Sorry, pardon me.
Hitting a golf ball is pretty fucking hard.
Well, he was saying it doesn't matter if you connect perfectly, you're hitting it, but you have to connect when you're kicking perfectly. You can kick too far.
You know what? I'm not a great kicker, but I bet I could kick your leg out.
I bet you could.
You know what I mean?
I
Do
have
you,
really
do you
weak
have to be
legs.
that great at kicking?
Either way, Joe then, for the last fucking time, cut up bowling. I've had enough.
That
This
was in the last episode.
No.
No, it's coming up right here.
Well, he talks about it in the other one too. In what's it
sorry,
called?
it was in Sando. Pardon me, but yeah.
It's in the next one. It's in
With
Radio
Radio
Raheem. Yeah.
Oh, but possibly that's possible.
Yeah, it is because they're talking about archery and how that is
Okay,
Joe's
maybe you're right.
new thing.
Sure,
and then
maybe you're right.
Joe gets on Radio Raheem because he is he likes pickleball, which I would love to have my own
okay.
pickleball.
We'll get to that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Great recollection.
Thank
Simon.
you. Wow, there you go.
Hans Kim
Boom.
got a huge shout out.
Yeah,
I don't
hardest
even
working
know
man
who
in
that
comedy.
is. Who is that?
He's funny.
Has
the guy-
he ever been on Rogan?
No, he will soon, I
It was
assume.
very difficult for them to list clean comics. It was Jim Gaffigan, Brian Regan, Jerry Seinfeld, Nate Bargatze,
Because there's no
Sebastian
need for it
Maniscalco.
anymore.
Maniscalco?
I think you could mention John Mulaney in that conversation.
No, John Mulaney's not clean. Nope.
Oh yeah, your Christian
He
standards.
is not clean.
Your Christian
No,
standards.
but it's
Fluffy.
not my standards. It's if you had like a business, you know what I mean, and you have all these PC people who you couldn't have Mulaney up there. It would be crazy.
I bet Kevin Hart could do a clean set, but just I bet he has an hour's worth of
I bet
clean
you he
material.
does
I
too.
do
Yeah.
too.
But he
definitely
just
does.
chooses probably not to.
Cat Williams, not a clean comic.
Now he's just trying to bug me.
I feel like. What about Mark Norman? That's
No,
not
he's not
clean.
clean, no.
but he's
Are you insane? Come on.
Theo is a clean set. I'm sure.
Who's
I
that
bet
guy?
you Theo
Hold on.
might have a clean set.
Kamar, who's the guy with the long hair that wears the trucker's hat? That
Dusty Slay.
I
He's
feel like
clean.
he's clean.
He is clean.
yeah,
is clean.
and he's great.
He is clean.
I mean, he was good. I didn't think. I watched it on.
I thought it was
after you
hilarious.
raved. I didn't
Alonzo
think it was
Bolden?
that funny.
I think he's a clean comic.
Yeah, he's clean. I guess maybe. I don't remember.
Todd Glass.
I don't know.
Or it's weird that all those guys, like, who's the other guy, the bald guy who talks really slow? Todd Barry. Like, he's hilarious.
Yeah,
man.
he's so
What
funny.
happened to him? He's done. Eh?
No, I'm sure. Maybe he got scared of the pandemic, but I'm sure he's
He
still
did a
doing what he's
special
doing.
like 2 years ago where it was just crowd work.
A
think.
lot of guys do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who's clean? Gary Goldman.
Gary
The
Gary
ultimate
Goldman. Yeah, they ran short.
It's too bad they all hate Gary so much because he's incredible.
Gary
He's a
probably
prick,
hates
isn't
them.
he?
Yeah, apparently
Yeah.
he's not loved in the world of comedians, but he is so fucking funny and his bits are so smart.
Yeah, the abbreviated.
That one is
states.
just hilarious, but that's because he like goes so full circle on it. You know how he keeps yelling at the secretary.
I think that might be the thing with Brendan Schaub. Is if he figure out how to do it clean, because he's doing too much at the same time right
Oh,
now.
clean would make perfect sense for him. Mm-hmm. I mean, it wouldn't appeal to the. What are they called?
thick boys.
There you go. Mind you, they don't want to hear his gay jokes apparently.
He's got to change as well and evolve. Hopefully, he does.
But you know what? We're done. We're done.
We're gonna have to move on soon too.
Unless
Kumar. How
he's
many
on
more do we have
Rogan.
there? Oh,
No, I just meant with Brendan Schaub.
Yeah, I know.
Then
I
there's
meant
a-
with the episode.
There's a lot of car talk,
Boo.
and it's sort of if you can relate to it, you can relate to it. We
I
already
saw
talked
that.
about Elon shutting down the cars in the on track.
Have we ever done this? What's your dream car? If you have unlimited money, you have Elon money. You can buy any car you want. What's like the first car you buy? Maybe not the first because maybe you go practical in your first. But what's your dream car if you have
The
one?
Lamborghini SUV.
Interesting.
I think
I think
would.
I'd go more muscle car like Eleanor.
Ooh, interesting.
I'm a senior citizen.
Fair enough.
I want like a souped up like Joe has that Toyota, whatever it is.
Oh, a Land Cruiser.
But he has it. For
Yeah,
the
yeah. You want the
apocalypse. That's
apocalyptic
what I
Land
want.
Cruiser.
Then I'll get a fancy, but deal with practical first.
Well, that's why I said. That's why I said forget the practical. What's your like dream fancy car?
Like fancy car.
Yeah.
Sports car.
Maybe like a
Oh,
Bugatti.
I definitely wouldn't want a sports car. I think I would go
you
for
go luxury,
like,
like a Rolls Royce.
no, I would get a some sort of like muscle car, but I would have them put all new, like
Accoutrement. And
yeah, so it has real brakes and real airbags and all of that. But what I want is an El Camino. That is my dream car.
I realized that if I
A
come,
super dope El Camino.
if I come in,
Lowrider.
No,
oh,
with the
that'd be
trunk.
sick.
You know,
Yeah, that'd be sick.
It's the car with
yeah,
the.
that'd be.
Is that yeah? That's
That's an El Camino. Yeah. I realized that if I come into a ton of money, I'm gonna take up driving. I love going fast.
You're gonna take up driving, like sports driving.
Yeah, sure. Not like competitive. I'm not going to like race it.
Trav does that.
But like I would love to go to the track and like
And you
get
could
to
do that
maximum
in our
speeds.
friend who ratted Kamar's out car.
Well, Joe
Yes, yeah.
Joe thinks that in 20 years everyone's going to be just going automated. So
You won't
Get
be
that money
driving.
and get it
Elon
in.
will be doing all the driving for you, y'all. You've signed up for it, and now you're fucked.
It's like a luge. You're just on a track, but the car's doing everything for you.
Elon decides where you'll go, where you're going today.
I mean, I'll say this. That would actually be kind of fun, almost like a roller coaster, where
It'll
the
be
car drives perfectly at like max speed around the track. But you know what I mean? You never have a chance of spinning out or anything.
Until, day X, Matt.
Yeah.
Where Elon decides, okay, we're going to lose 3/4 of the population today.
Dude, I saw a video of a
You
Tesla.
get dumped off the track.
They have like CCTV from a restaurant of this. I guess this guy was driving Uber in his Tesla, and the Tesla failed in some way, shape, or form. And he's driving down a street, and it decides it's going max speed. Killed the passenger.
Wow. What was the story about Ben Baller? He got locked in his Tesla?
So his son has terrible asthma.
That was it.
And him and his son got locked in his Tesla, yeah. And he was like, I'm getting rid of this car immediately.
I was trying to tell my son the exact story. I couldn't remember about
That's the
his
story,
kid or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Anyways.
rate it.
I give it a 2.5.
We'll give it a 2.
Give it a 1. And I love Tony. I love Joe. It's just it's the
Yeah,
same
there's no
conversation
disrespect
I
to
have
either
all
of the
time.
people. It's not the people, it's the content. This was just like listen, we've covered every one of these topics ad nauseum.
And we called this. We said, listen, whoever lives in Austin
is going to be
is
on
going
the
to
regular.
end up
yeah.
with the old Ari job, you
Yeah.
know? And that's exactly what's proven to be true.